Welcome back to Headliners. We've got the Telegraph now, and Labour have said that drugging, sterilising and maiming children in the name of gender ideology isn't a good idea. And blue-haired communists aren't happy about it, Cressida.
Exactly. Trans activists putting vulnerable young people at risk, says Streeting. So Wes Streeting has turned a corner on this and he's now acknowledging that transing children is not always a good idea. And he's saying that the activist language is putting children at risk. Fair enough. So the Tories had already decided they were going to put a temporary ban on puberty blockers for kids, and Labour have now decided they're going to make that permanent. And as you say, the trans activists are not happy about it. And they're saying that Streeting's going to have blood on his hands, which is...
It seems to be the opposite of what's going to happen.
Would argue,
because
Leo.
Streeting is saying we're not going to do any vivisection on children who think that they're trans, which is, you know, Josh, often seen as a sort of social contagion that catches on, and it's quite often with vulnerable kids who have autism or other conditions.
Well, Wes Streeting has done this crazy thing, right? He looked at something called evidence, or in this case, the lack of it. There's a 400-page CAS report that showed that there wasn't the evidence that transing children or allowing them to take puberty blockers and surgery and all that other thing has any long-term benefits. Or sure, in fact, negative impact on them.
Well, this is, but the activists are still peddling this idea that if you don't intervene, you're going to have suicide on your hands.
I guess the problem is that the activists are ideologists, so it's a religion to them. So you're never going to be able to convince them that their religion is wrong.
Well, they're sprouting some insane stuff online. They're just going, "Oh my God!" I think Owen Joesday said something about trans suicides going through. He didn't say going through the roof, but but a lot. This is what a lot of the trans activists are saying, that how this has led this banning of puberty blockers has led to this. Now, what is a social contagion is suicide. So when they are spreading that rhetoric, then I would argue that does far worse. It's always been a false rhetoric anyway. It's always been lots of made-up statistics about violence towards how trans people are the most at vulnerable risk in the world and all this stuff. And it turns out the numbers were black prostitutes, trans women in Brazil. And this was their statistic to prove that all around the world. So getting off all of that, we have a new Labour Minister for Health. He's looked at the evidence closely. Not only that, he's come much more from the other side, where he used to be much more closely associated with the trans ideologues. He has seen the evidence. He's changed his mind. He's come out. He's doing his job, which is to protect children. This is the greatest medical scandal of our era. And what's incredible for me is to see the reaction to this someone being an adult.
Well, yeah, because some of these people, so Jolyon Mom, who's a lawyer and director at the Good Law Project, so ostensibly a respectable person whose opinion we should listen to, has said that Wes Streeting his ban is going to kill trans children. I mean, that's flagrantly ridiculous and also, potentially defamatory.
Absolutely.
Well, and these people are on borrowed time, aren't they? Because this is crumbling, and I dread to think what kind of... he's going to be facing some trouble in the future, isn't he?
Yeah.